Lekin industrial scheduling software. When you have n jobs, they must be done on m machines. For example, we have here 10 jobs. They must be scheduled on 2 machines. We have to do it in a way to make sure we benefit from all the timing on the machine. As you could see from the result here, there is no idle time whatsoever in the system. All of it has been used, okay? All the time has been used to schedule the 10 jobs. So let's start. I'm gonna take you back to the lesson. So we have n jobs must be scheduled on m machine. We need to bear in mind the following. We have always the parameters, the description, the attribute of the machine is alpha, beta, gamma. I've attached a video describing each one in details. So we have the machine environment. Okay, is it a single machine? Is it identical parallel machine? Open shop, flexible flow shop, job shop, flexible job shop, or job and characteristic of the job, which is beta. Is it you're gonna preempt, like you're gonna interrupt the job? Is it like based on the release date, earliest due date? And we have the objective. Objective is the one you use in order to keep in mind what's the best in order to optimize the schedule. Okay, we're gonna start in the first example. So we have one machine. Okay, the job characteristic is the release date, and the objective is to minimize the C maximum, which is the make time, which is the completion time. Minimize the maximum completion time. Okay, so we have, in this example, we have 4 jobs, as you could see here. We have 4 jobs. We have processing time for the job 2, 4 to 3, and we have the release date. We can do this manually, like the release date. So we have to, for example, number 3, the release date of it is 0, so we have to start with it. Okay, the release date for job number 2 is 4. The release date for job number 4 is 3, so we have to do it. Okay, as soon as we finish from job 3, we have to start with job 4. So those numbers are the release time in hours and days and weeks of the jobs. Let's do it in Lekin software. So I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna open a new page. So first I'm gonna select, we have single machine, parallel machine, flow shop, flexible flow shop, job shop, flexible job shop. It's really easy software. So we start with a single machine. Number of machine is 1, number of jobs 4. Okay, I need to remind you here, so we have 4 jobs. This is the processing time, this is the release date of the job. So we got this window to add jobs. So by default, you could see it's called job 01, 02, 03. So you could change the name of it. It's up to you. Number of jobs to add. If you say I want to add 2 jobs, so it create like a cloning one, exactly identical one. So if you put 5 in this box, so it will create like 5 jobs having the same characteristic, but different color. You'll say why you need this color, because at the end you will see how the bars, you know, as output, how we got them. So again, with the release date 5. Okay, so I'm gonna copy those values. We have the release date 5, the processing time is 2. Sorry, processing time is 2. So release date 5, processing time is 2. For the second job is 4, 4. For the third job is, the processing time is 2 and the release is 0. And for the last job, the processing is 3 and the release is 3. Again, I'm gonna remind you, I just copied those values. So those are the processing time corresponding to job 1, job 2, job 3, job 4, and this is the release date corresponding to job 1, job 2, job 3, job 4. Sorry. So we have the 4 jobs here. You could see here we've got the weight okay, which is, you remember, it's what's await. So you put like priority, it's like holding cost for a job. If you keep it like 1 day more in the system or an hour more in the system, depend on the unit of time you're using. Is it like an hour or 1 day, 1 week, 1 month? The release date, the due date, okay, the processing time, and the status of the machine. Is it active or inactive? Okay, of the job, is it like active now or inactive? And we have one single machine. It's called sorry, I don't know what that is. Unob. And so so we have number of machine is 1 because we define a single machine, and it's active from the start. You play here with the available date, like if you say like I don't want the machine to be available from the start. Okay, and so now I need to remind you about one thing. We're gonna consider one RJC maximum. Okay, so I'm gonna run the program just to show you how does it work. But before we go ahead, if you want to, in case you want to modify or edit those values, so you just click on this J value. Don't forget to save this job, so rather than opening a new one every day, so you could just like load the jobs, sorry, rather than filling them in, which takes so much time, so you could just like load those jobs. And the same for machine characteristic. Okay, and I need to remind you, like the capacity of this is like 100 machine at the same time. Okay, so it's like literally is a huge system. So now the next step, which is like really easy and very straightforward. So you click on schedule, we click on rule, which is the gamma. So you have several options here, and we're gonna consider each one of them. Is the first one is apparent tardiness cost. Tardiness, like to be, I think it's a French word, like to be tard, which means like to be late. And the second one, يعني قد ما فينا نحن, we want to minimize the tardiness cost. Second is EDD, which is earliest due date. So we want just to do our schedule to minimize the due date. Third is minimum slack. So we want to, as much as possible, to benefit from every single time to reduce the idle time. First come, first serve. Okay, longest processing time, shortest processing time, weighted shortest processing time, and the most important one is critical ratio. Critical ratio is a combination of EDD, earliest due date, and longest processing time. In a way, so if it gives the priority for longest processing time, but unfortunately, what does it do? It takes into consideration the earliest due date. So it's like a mix of both of them, but it's extremely important to use. Okay, earliest due date, like if it has to select between two machines, and one it finishes in 24 days or hours, and second finishes in 31, so definitely we'll pick the scenario of finishing early. Okay, so and here we have a heuristic, general SB, and we have the make span. Okay, so so we have the combination of the job. We could remove those lining. Okay, you could remove those, and here it will be like the orange 3, but it's easier just to put their names. It's just like the number of jobs or boxes. Okay, so you can make it this one smaller. It's just like just like to spend time just to explore this software. It's extremely important. So here we get to the summary. Okay, so what's the value we got here? It's extremely small and very little, but I need to remind you we are interested in Cmax, and the value is 12, done by hand. Okay, but so now Cmax is 12. Okay, Cmax is 12, as you could see here. Okay, so this is the result, and so here it's 3, 4, 2, 1, as you could see here. So the job 3, literally it finished after processing time, so it start at 0, finish at 2. Processing 4, it start at 3, finish at 6. Processing job 2, it start at 6 hours or days, finish 10, all the way to the end. Okay, now I'm gonna consider another example. So we're gonna start Lekin again, I need to remind you here we have F2, which means a flow shop, which means M machine in series, while we have 2 machines in series. Okay, you could see the processing time for job 1 is 2 on the first machine, 3 on second. Job 2 is 1, 4. It's like 1 on the first machine, and then 4, well, it could be hours, it could be days. 3, 1, and we have the way, and we have the due date of all of them. Okay, so we're gonna do flow shop. So we have 2 work centers, 3 jobs. This is for the first work center. Again, modify the names, up to you. Is it available? It's not available. And this is the second work center, and now the jobs. We don't have a release date. I need to remind you, we don't have a release date. We have way and we have due date. So the due date for the first job is 6. Okay, the way is 3, and here you set the processing time. You set the routing for the job. So I need to remind you again. So it's 2, 3. So it's 2, 3. For job 2, there is no release date. There is a due date of 9 and way of 1, and we have the routing here is 1, 4. And job 3, again there is no release date, so we have due date 4 and the way is 5, and the value here is 3 and 1. Okay, again the value is flow chop F2, and this is gamma, so it is the summation of the weighted tardiness time. Tardiness, how tard it is, like how late it is the job to be finished. Okay, an example. So if job 1 is supposed to finish at 6, and here it finished, literally job 1 it finished at 6, 7, 8, so you're tired by 2 value. If job 2 is supposed to finish 9, but you finish it at 12, so you're tired by 3 value. If job 3 you're supposed to finish it at 4, and you finish it at 4, so you're fine. Okay, as you could see here. So you have weight 3 times, you're supposed to finish it at 6, job 1 you finish it at 8, so 8 minus 6. Okay, you could always solve it by hand, بس هي صراحة إنه أنا يعني last year we did the course, but أنا ما عندنا software بالصف، كنت أنا عم بتعلمه لحالي. بس إنه I didn't go deep in it. هلا هذا الفصل قلت لا إنه I want to do it properly, like طريقة كتير مرتبة. and I'm think نشكر الرب, I think I'm managing. So here يعني إذا بترجعوا على ال value we have weighted tardiness time. so بتجوا هون على schedule rule, ما بدكم يعني انتم ما تشغلوا راسكم كتير. it's not one of any of those. في شغلة هون كمان فيك تعملوا, لا أنا نسيت أخبركم إياها, فيك تعملوا for the job you could sort the job by name, processing time, due date. طحنك. Here even you could add work center, here you could add the jobs. so بنرجع لهون. so go to heuristic, general routines. so we have here total weighted tardiness, and we click OK. Okay, and we click on this. so we have, I'm gonna show you this. so this looks exactly like that one. It finished at 6, and this one it finished at 12. Okay, and the value is 9 as the answer. so I'm gonna show you the value is 9, which is the summation of weight tardiness. I know it's like really little, but if you squeeze your eyes you can see it. so the summation of weighted tardiness is equal to 9. and our job عنده 3 1 2 3 1 2 start at 0 finish at 3, start at 3 finish at 5, start at 5 finish at 6. والjob والmachine الwork center it start at 3, it finish at 4, and then does nothing till 5 and stay till 8, and then from 8 till 12. يعني حلو. it's really 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 exciting. يعني I'm happy like while using it. okay, نحن we're gonna do a third example. literally هذا الاكزامبل بتلاحظوا انه عندنا نحن هون P2, which mean 2 machines, identical machines in parallel. precedence, so one job should be done before other jobs. تذكروا precedence diagram, معكم في diagram steps 1 2 3 في arrows بيناتهم. so ما فيك تقفي. وعندنا نحن C max which is like make span هي completion time. C max هي completion time. بعطيكم example. إذا job 1 عنده 8 ودغري لزقته job 2 وراه، C max هون بتكون 8 لل1 بتكون 15 لل2، ما بتكون 7 لأنه 8 بلس أي متى خلصتوا 2 هي بعد 15 ساعة 15 15 days 15 months. It's just always a one unit of time which is hours days week بدكم هي months year. Okay, so هون we have what's known as precedence. هلا السوفتوير by itself does not have يعني حفرجيكم شغلة. هذا ال precedence diagram. السوفتوير itself does not have a feature of precedence. يعني I really squeeze my brain but I find a very nice way around it. okay يعني هذا بعد ما قعدت السبت عن جد وحياة الرب قعدت السبت يمكن 12 ساعة متواصلة to figure it out. okay so I'm gonna show it to you. so اللي عملته هون انه نقلت الشغل اللي عنا اياه هون نقلت هود الفاليو 877232 سوري بتشوفون هون 877232 from job 1 to job 10. okay so this one is 0 supposed to be 0. okay we have from job 1 to job 10 نقلت هود الفاليو. okay from job 1 to job 10 نقلتهم بإيدي صرت أعمل الريليس ديت. بس خليني لكم فكرت بالريليس. so نفس الفاليوز اللي عنا اياهم هون تطلعوا هيدا البريسيدنس دايجرام. so what I did we copied those values. بس خليني افرجيكم كيف فتت بأي concept. I went and wrote the release times the one we have. okay so حعمل هيدي. okay so حبلش هون نشتغل سوا. job 1 it's clear بيقدر يبلش اول شي لان الريليز ديت تبع job 4 عفوا مش الجوب 1 0 صح. والجوب 1 نفس القصة ما في شي قبله so the release date is 0. ال 5 وال 6 يعني هني بعد الجوب 4 job 4 عنده value of 2 so the release date تبعهم هو 2 and 2. job 1 يعني بعد ال 1 so the release date of job 1 2 and 3 عفوا is 8. ليه؟ يعني ال 1 هي 8 مظبوط ولا لا؟ job 10 أوطى شي تحت يعني 2 و 3 ببلشوا at minute or hour 8 hour after 8 hours plus 7 and then هنا 15 so that value is 15. job 7 okay يعني نحن ببلش ال 6 at 2 هي already 2 hours or 2 days so it start at 4 after 4 hours. job 8 يعني بعد السبعة 4 و 2 6 نفس الشي يعني 8 وعندنا 6 ب 6 so هيك this is what I did and it works magically. بس مثل ما قلت لكم literally أخذت 12 ساعة in order to figure it out. فهرجع هون على السوفتوير. so رح نعمله هون حنبلش بوحدة جديدة مثل ما قلنا هون we have 2 machines identical parallel machines so parallel machines and we have 10 jobs. okay so منبلش هون بالjob 1 and we have to go over it like really slowly and please be careful while you insert the value. so the processing time for job 1 is 8. the release date is 0 ما في due date ما في wait time. okay هذا job 1. إذا عندنا نحنا job 2 عندي release date هي 8 وال processing time هي 7. okay so I'm gonna pause the video حتى ما يكبر كتير الفيديو ما فينا نعمل له upload and I'm gonna enter all the values. so اللي عملته هون وقفت يعني وقت جيت بدي فوت الجوب تالت قلت له cancel already أنا يعني عملت أعمل لهم testing 300 مرة so already مسيف الفايلز so save changes to the new jobs we're just entering now obviously not and we have to enter the characteristic of the machine. save change to the machine like we're now building كمان لا بدكم تشوفوا هون number of machine is equal to 2 So you have here 1 and 2. okay. So again بذكركم انه الويت هي تبعتها كلها 0 and you have release date 08802224. بذكركم مثل هذا الفاليو مثل ما فسرنا هون قبل شوي، بس please pay attention to this. اوكي. هلا بتقلي انت جوب 9 هي ليش انحطت 23، رح ردها 23 رح ردها رح ردها 6 ونرجع فسركم شو عم بيصير عنا. اوكي. And then now I need to use a critical ratio. So usual rule critical ratio. بذكركم critical ratio هي combination of earliest due date and combination of longest processing time. okay. هذا ال critical ratio اللي عنا اياها. So we use rules critical ratio. هلا اللي عنا بدي فرجيكم شغلة. I'm gonna stop the video for a second and then we'll come back to it. okay. So إذا بنرجع على الشغل يلي هون بتلاحظ انه at minute 16 يعني احنا قلنا الجوب 9 في بلش بال6 بس لانه في precedence اندفش لل 16 وفي جوب 10 في بلش على 15. so اللي عم بيصير عنا هون اي وحدة بده يبلش قبل 9 ولا 10. نحن كتير محتارين شو بده يبلش قبل. so اللي عملته انا اشتغلت بهذه الطريقة. لاحظوا هون نحن at minute 16 now. هيدي الماشين is idle ما بنعرف شو بدنا نعمل فيها. اوكي. هيدي الماشين is idle ما بنعرف شو بدنا نعمل فيها. so we have to find a solution وافرجيكم earliest due date how does it work. اوكي. so نحن بنجي على سوري عفوا بنجي على الكوبي اللي هون at minute 16 عندنا job 9 بده 8 دقايق or 8 hours or 8 days الى اخره، وهيدي a job at 16 hours or 16 minutes or 16 days. اوكي. وهون على 16 يعني في عندنا job 9 وجوب 10 اثنيناتهم they're available. إذا بلشنا بالجوب 9 تذكروا في شيء اسمه due date عندنا 24. وإذا بلشنا بال 31 سوري جوب 10 we finish at 35 at 31. so أكيد الكمبيوتر حينقي جوب 9 we finish at 24. وهذا اللي صار عنا إياه هون. أوكي. وهذا اللي صار عنا إياه هون. أوكي. بس نحن بالكتاب عفوا بالكتاب هون نحن ما طلع معنا بالكتاب الفاليوز اللي هون. نحن باثنيناتهم خلصوا على ال 31 and we want the same optimal solution. so بالالترناتيف الثاني انه اذا جينا نحن قلنا له للكمبيوتر يعني جوب 10 اذا بلشنا بال9 جوب 10 اجباري يبلش ب 23. so اذا قلنا له الكمبيوتر انه خلي الريليس تايم تبع جوب 9 is 23 مثل ما الجوب 10 is 23 وساعتها الكمبيوتر بينقي على longest processing time. تذكروا الكريتيكال ريشيو هي combination of longest processing time وال earliest due date. so بينقي على الفاليو الثاني. as this what I did. so الفاليو زي هون على ال 9 بدنا نحطها نحن 23 as it seems here. okay. and then gonna rerun the result override and then we get this. حارجع اذكركم at minute 16 they're both free. اوكي. عم نعطي نحن كيف بيقولوا priority for job 10 يعني هن اثنيناتهم فري ساعتها واثنيناتهم عندهم the same earliest due date. so بنقي longest processing time اللي هي job 10 of 15 hours or 15 time unit of time. okay. so I want you to have a go at this. do it really slowly just to be able to understand it and hopefully you will manage it. If you have any question let me know.